Hello everyone. Today let us start with Gymnosperm, that is of lesson 3rd, plant kingdom or of standard 11th. Gymnos, that means naked, and sperma, that means seeds. So here ovules are not covered by ovary wall, that is flowers are absent, seeds are naked, so they are called as gymnosperms. If we see the height of the tree, then it can be of medium sized tree or tall tree or shrubs. The giant redwood tree called as sequoia is the tallest tree, while Zamia pygmea is the smallest gymnosperm. So tallest is sequoia and the smallest gymnosperm is Zamia pygmea. The roots that are found in case of gymnosperm are taproot. Some have fungal association with mycorrhiza. For example, in case of pinus, these mycorrhiza spread and absorb water and minerals. So these are the mycorrhiza associated with the roots. So they form a symbiotic relationship with the pinus. While in some other trees like cycas, they have coleroid roots. Coleroid roots are negatively geotropic. They are associated with nitrogen fixing cyanobacter, nostoc and anabina. So these are the coleroid which is having nitrogen fixing bacteria. So two types of roots, that is having association with mycorrhiza in case of pinus, and second one is coleroid roots in case of cycas. Then let us see the stem in case of gymnosperm. Stem can be unbranched, for example in case of cycas, or it can be branched in case of pinus and cedrus. Cycas is said to be the living fossil from the time of dinosaur of Jurassic era. So cycas is the living fossil. The leaves that is present in case of gymnosperms can be simple leaves or can be compound leaves. For example, simple leaves in case of ginkgo and compound leaves in case of cycas. The characteristic of the leaves, that is they have thick cuticle and sunken stomata, that is seated deeply inside the leaves. Leaves can withstand extreme of temperature, humidity and wind. So such type of arrangement reduce the water loss. While in case of conifers, needle-like leaves are present which reduce the surface area. So transpiration rate reduces. So the characteristic of the leaves, that is they have thick cuticle, sunken stomata, they can withstand extreme of temperature, humidity and wind. While in case of conifers, they are needle-like leaves which reduce the surface area. Now in case of gymnosperm, the dominant phase is sporophyte which have root, stem and leaves. In xylem, they lack vessels. Instead of that, they have tracheids and they lack companion cells. So vessels and companion cells, they are the characteristic of angiosperms. Now let us see the spores that are present in case of gymnosperm. Gymnosperms are heterosporous in nature. Two types of spores are present, and spores are always haploid in nature. So two type of spore, that is microspores and megaspore. Now this microspore, they are present inside the microsporangia, and microsporangia will be present in the microsporophyll, and this microsporophyll will form male cone, or it is called as male strobilus. So microspores inside microsporangia, and microsporangia present in microsporophyll. So these microsporophyll are nothing but leaf-like structure which are arranged to form the cone. While in case of female, it is called as megaspore which are present inside the megasporangia. Megasporangia will be present in the megasporophyll which are arranged compactly in strobilus or cone. So this one is female cone having megasporophyll. Inside the megasporophyll will be megasporangia. So male cone and female cone may be on the same tree, for example in case of pinus, or on the different tree, for example in case of cycas. So the sporophytic stage, that is having root, stem and leaves, can have male and female cone on the same tree or on the different tree, and sporophyte is always diploid. So in case of gymnosperm, male cone also called as pollen cone and female cone also called as ovulate cone. So male cone having Microsporophyll. Microsporophyll will be having microsporangia. So the cells of microsporangia undergo meiosis, giving rise to microspores. So after meiosis, microspore becomes haploid. Now this microspores undergoes mitosis, giving rise to pollen grains, which is haploid, which have 2 sperm cells. So these pollen grains will be having 2 sperm cells. Pollen grain is called as male gametophyte. In case of female cone or ovulate cone, megasporophylls present in the cone, this megasporophyll will be having megasporangia. Megasporangia will be having the cells called as nucellus. Any one of the nucellus cell will differentiate into megaspore mother cell. So female cone have megasporophyll. Megasporophyll will be having megasporangia. Megasporangia will be having cells called as nucellus. Any one cell of the nucellus will differentiate into megaspore mother cell. Now this megaspore mother cell, which is 2n, will undergo meiosis. So after meiosis, it will produce 4 haploid megaspore. Out of these 4, only one develop into female gametophyte. Only one will develop into female gametophyte, which bears 2 or 3 sex organs called as archegonia. Now, with the help of air, the pollen grain comes near the mouth of the archegonia. This pollen grain will germinate and will develop the pollen tube, and the male gamete will enter the archegonium, and the fusion of male and female gamete takes place, giving rise to a zygote. So zygote develops into embryo, and the ovule will develop into a seed, which is naked. So let us see the life cycle of gymnosperm with the help of this diagram. So this one is the sporophytic stage, that is having root, stem and leaves, which is diploid. So mature sporophyte now will be having male cone and female cone. So male cone and female cone, that is microsporangia and megasporangia, undergoing meiosis, giving rise to male gametophyte, giving rise to female gametophyte. The microspore inside here will undergo mitosis, giving rise to the pollen grains. Similarly, here inside the ovule, any one cell of the nucellus will differentiate into megaspore mother cell. Megaspore mother cell will undergo meiosis, giving rise to 4 haploid megaspore. Out of these, only one will differentiate into the female gametophyte, having 2 or 3 female sex organ called as archegonium. With the help of the air, the pollen grain comes and settles on the mouth of the female gametophyte. The pollen grain will germinate, forming the pollen tube. The male gamete will enter inside the female gamete, and fusion will takes place, and fertilization take place, and zygote will be formed, which is diploid, and this zygote will give rise to the embryo, while the ovule will give rise to the seed, and again it give rise to the sporophytic condition. So sporophyte and gametophyte stage alternate with one another. Thank you.